the first thing that comes to mind when you think of gender-based violence? Physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse? Thought so. And you're not wrong. But let me school you on the mother of them all, financial abuse. So financial abuse is the ability of one to control the victim's ability to use, acquire, and even maintain their financial resources. How does this occur? This can occur through either restricting the use of their financial resources or actually stealing. Stealing, not directly in the way that a robber steals from the bank or someone steals from someone's business, but stealing indirectly by curtailing the way they use their resources or having them to account for every penny that comes into their account. So when can we say that one is actually being financially abused? So for example, through control of their financial resources, as we earlier mentioned, let's say someone is the one who is in charge, whether you're married or you're dating, but that person is the one who is in charge of keeping your credit cards or even your national ID, or they want access or want to know each and every password you use, especially when it comes to your bank accounts or even your M-Pesa accounts. So this can also happen through ruining your credits. For example, the aggressor in this case can make you take up a loan on your account or on your standing, but they are the ones who take over the loan and do as they please with the loan. They can also be pressuring you to quit your job. Let's say they can use emotional tactics like, why do you need to work? I'm the one providing for everything anyway. Why do you need to work? Is it because you have some other types of relationships at work? So that's the excuse you're using. So and so to pressure you either to quit your job or to stop anything that you're doing that might be causing you to earn an amount of money. This can be through controlling your finances in the sense that, let's say you're working, but at the end of the month, your paycheck goes into the account instead of yours, or threatening to tarnish your name or your reputation at work so that you either quit or that you give them the amount of money that they're requesting or acquiring from you. So financial abuse or the financial abuse can be done in so many ways that may seem to be abuse, may not seem or appear as abuse, in that if someone is not beating you or is not insulting you, it may not seem as aggressive, but consequently, if your finances are restricted from you, then you sort of lose your control even over what you eat, maybe what you dress or where you go. So everything solely relies on the aggressor or the abuser. Consequently, you get issues of low self-esteem, feeling of inadequacy, and even this leads now to, it can lead to physical or verbal abuse. And consequently, while the person is still controlling your finances, even if you're in a situation where you feel like you need to run or you need to leave, you are restricted because you have you wonder how will you support yourself once you get out of that environment. So this now leaves you at the mercy and at the hands of the abuser or the aggressor. So if everything that I've said till now clicks something in you, or it's something that you have seen, especially if you're in a current relationship, something that is still budding, it's a red flag. I know it's a red flag, and it might be hard because by now probably you have your emotions intertwined into everything that is happening. But this is the time, if you're in a relationship that's not yet cemented, especially, this is the time to run. I know it is hard, especially emotionally, but you'd rather find a way to get through that emotional hurdle now than settle into something that consequently leads to something worse. If you are settled, maybe you are in a marriage or in a committed relationship, you can start planning how to get out of it. Probably this person has already confiscated maybe your cards, or they have a way where if you're earning a salary, it is getting into their accounts, and you find yourself stuck and you don't know how you will survive if you were to get out, or if you were to try and move on. If you can find a confidant, talk to someone. It could be just a counselor, it could be your best friend if you have that sort of support in your family, it could be a religious leader. Whoever you can find to lean on, to confide in, you can sit down with them, have a talk with them, and come up with a plan on how to get out of it. Be it a financial plan, if you have a way where you can save up something slowly and move, or if you have someone who can support you and you can move out and start finding your bearing again. But it is very important, because truth be told, in such situations, it does not get any better. It will only deteriorate from there. And the earlier you notice this, the earlier you can get out, the better for you, both emotionally, physically, and mentally. So for those who are new here, my name is Juliet Ireri. I focus on motivational, lifestyle, and travel content. I love to learn, teach, and celebrate life, and that's what we do here on this channel. And today, I thought it appropriate to broach out this topic, which has been festering in my spirit, and I hope it somehow connects with someone, and we can continue sharing and growing together in this channel. So please like, share, and subscribe, and let's grow this amazing, positive community of ours. Spread love and light.